This is an absolute animal. Absolute animal. Absolute Lucifer is this shit here. It's unprecedented. Absolute animal. I have seen a lot of stuff, but animal like this, I didn't know they exist in this world. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. Again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have about 4 different types of cancer. 4 different types of cancer I think I have. 4 different type of cancer I think I have it. And I think I have a problem with the liver also, and also with the kidneys, that are at least equivalent to the cancer at this point in time. This is what I think. In broken spine, and problem in a left foot, very serious problem, and so on. And broken too, and without the glasses. This is my present condition right now. Here's the date and time. I absolutely have not. It's hard for me to imagine that at one point in time in my life I would have to meet with this kind of shit, with the news like this, during stages of health problems like I described. I really don't get any sleep. This is just extremely interesting way how they responded. Just very interesting the way they fucking Lucifer. If I name this, it doesn't matter. I want to have the proofs about this stuff. Actually, this is the man here that you see who insisted that in my case what's going to happen, I will go and do a suicide. And so with the news that he came up with based on MK Ultra brainwash, no, I'm not kidding. He had a news like this with him, with himself, this kind of facial expression he was demonstrating me during MK Ultra. Then I have another problem. The biggest problem is they try to prove that I'm mentally ill. And they try to prove I'm mentally ill through a very serious illnesses. I think I have a cancer in my neck, on my left side, right side I should say, lymph node. I think I have a cancer on my left side of the arm. I think I have a bowel cancer. I think I have a possibly, I'm not gonna say, but possibly it could have something to do with the gallbladder and the prostate cancer, and the gallbladder. and problem with the kidney, with the liver, problem with the left foot, problem with the spine. This is the stuff they were doing to me during MK Ultra. Problem with the broken tooth. It's called a wisdom tooth. Smashed completely on my left side, which they also counted is gonna get me killed at one point in time. I find this bizarre. Truly bizarre stuff. Totally bizarre. And probably with the diabetes and who knows what else. You fucking animals. You fucking murderous animals. I just want to. I had such a rough sleep, man. I went to sleep and it was so rough, man. A little earlier I saw this stuff here coming up. They demonstrate themselves now. Epstein files. You fucking animals. You fucking animals. You fucking animals. They push me in circumstances during which he's flashing with a cancer right there. They push me in circumstances during which I could have cancer, stroke at any fucking moment. Literally, they push me in circumstances during which I could have a stroke at any given moment. And this animal right there is advertising his cancer. You fucking murderous beast. That's what he's doing. He's being well taken care of with medications, with physicians, doctors, all kinds of stuff administering him. He, the animal that you see right there, figure out that his problem, and his problem is swelling, edema. This is what he did to me. This is what this animal did to me. Is better solved by making me sick, so that he could learn as much as he possibly can from example of my own, from the problems I would be dealing myself with. He had me in numerous hospitals numerous times, throughout Britain, throughout Australia, throughout Canada. He was not interested in solving this case, that fucking animal right there that you see. Not interested in any of that stuff. He figured out further that I'm not gonna need money. He figured out further that what I'm gonna need is a best health care possible. So he started to sell me a health care. Hospitals, actually solutions to the problems he created with his comrades. That's why I'm so angry about this stuff. I wouldn't be, but this is bizarre, disgusting as it gets. Man, if there is a hell, if the hell exists, I hope you murderous swine, you get there. You're fake swines, but the stuff you did to me, it's real. You fucking alcoholic, lazy bastard, good for nothing, murdering decent people, giving them death in return for the trust. You have a 4 hour of sleep with a constant sound in your head 24/7. This is an issue that I have, which is sepsis related. Type of sepsis related condition. Like, symptoms are very similar to that, except that these people have created various locations throughout my body which are creating this kind of situation. And we all know that this animal right here, he is the one who suffers from this type of health problem. So he went on to waste my life, waste my health, absolutely everything, so he could experiment on me and see how this stuff affects him and how to possibly avoid this, and best food and best food not, and etc., etc., treatments, best treatments for himself and so on. So this is fucking incredible, this stuff. It's fucking incredible. This is a fucking beast. I'm never gonna forget when he was giving me last instructions on how to survive, how to stay, not survive, how to survive not, but how to stay alive as long as possible. I will never forget my pee when I would go to the restroom, that it would barely go out of the gallbladder. I'll never forget how that was impacted by the walk, how he measured everything, watched everything, the food I ate, the consumed, every habit, everything they were doing with me, how it affected me, and compared this with his own issues. And then the farewell was like basically, you know, motionless, completely motionless once he was certain I'm not gonna last, basically. You fucking animal, you fucking murderous animal. He gave Slovenian side, which started this when I was a baby. He gave Slovenes everything he possibly could for me to point at him. And that makes a lot of international problems for me, if not the thing impossible. He protected Slovenes with absolutely everything he had in him, for truth not to come out and for me to rotten away without any assistance. You fucking murderous British animal. It's sick to say that you wish somebody a pain, but I really hope this son of a bitch gets through the worst that this life has to offer. And it will not, because he's got a people. He's got physicians, nothing other than physicians around him, all over him, making sure that he is well. The last crime that he recorded, I don't even want to talk about this stuff anymore. This is a fucking beast. And there is one more I have to say. There is another thing I have to say. He called me a cancer during MK Ultra. He did refer to me as cancer, as a form of cancer also. After everything he did to me, he referred to me as a form of cancer and was questioning me on the issue as per how should he see this issue, as insisted on how one will affect his health. With his physicians judging me untreated, he would go untreated for so long, untreated and this and that. Untreated. Let's make these things clear, just so that you remember this case. I believe at least 4 different types of cancer. 4. Clear it up here in respect to this issue here, because this somewhat relates to this thing here, how they try to make me a sovereign citizen, and it's how they make people as sovereign citizens. But I don't know about other people, but this is the stuff that went on in my case. It's like kind of related to this stuff, and I feel that yeah, it should be also the stuff that pertains to this stuff. It kind of goes hand in hand with this stuff here. The 5th type of cancer, which I believe I also have, is a skin cancer. I did not mention to you. This location right here, I'm going to demonstrate you. That I completely failed to mention. It's a park. It's just a park, you know. And this one is related to the Joe Biden. It's just a park. Would I be interested in settling there? No, not really. But during MK Ultra, I was really interested in any place, nice place, location. It's basically just as I explained here under this thing here, that I am so betrayed person. I was so betrayed that I had to have something, some piece of homeland, some flag, something I could resort to, even if only in imagination. And yes, it really was in imagination. This is a horrendous atrocity. People might see this even as crazy, wherever you might see it. But the ordeal I have gone through is unprecedented atrocity. And I said I have gone through, I did not even made it anywhere. This man referred to me as a cancer, as a form of cancer. And he mind-boggled together, terrorized together with a Prince William and a Prince Harry Harold, insisted that they will treat me the way I treat their father. That's how they responded to this stuff. At the final stages, completely final stages, the words of Prince William and Prince Harry to me were exactly as I stated. This is, you're fucking beasts. I don't understand why the fuck you even exist, scum. I don't understand why the fuck that you exist for other than for evil. Every one of these locations here, every fucking one of these locations here, every one of these locations here, anything that was challenging for them, look, it's what I did not mention. Yeah, this goes hand in hand basically with this here, with the Pele Island. He had me here. He had me on. He had me on. He had me at Lake Superior. And this island here, this was the island that he promised me. Also among others, Isle Royale National Park. And then he made his statements. No, I'm not giving this away. We change our mind. This is the way it was. This is the way it is with the people. And so people might wonder what's going on with the people. What's happening with the people? What is wrong with the people, with the sovereign citizens, etc.? This is not to defend any kind of a sovereign citizenship and stuff. The people who search for the sovereign citizenship are animals, beasts that were involved in this case, and they started to hallucinate they had the right to something without earning anything. They had me right here, what you see here, Buffalo Point. See this here, Buffalo Point? They had me right here at this Buffalo Point. And on one side is Canada, and on the other side is United States. This was Joe Biden who went on to check also together with Charles every millimeter of the land between Canada and the US. And it ended at the end, it really ended with my gesturing me that the only thing that I could have actually, as far as they were concerned, is the rock. It's like a 20-meter rock. If it's 20 meter, yeah, it is 20 meter. This rock here, for what they were concerned, the only thing that I could have is basically a rock here that you see. And the whole thing started, that's interesting, by them offering me western part of Canada. Prince Edward was the one who insisted that this would be mine. This is when I was child. Vancouver. That kind of stuff. This is how it all started. And then I was reduced to the stone like that, the way you see it. This is where it all ended, right? Like this, basically. No, 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 I would not want your precious homelands. I know that. I completely understand. I totally understand that this 20 meters here, this rock here, it makes you much bigger, and part of it is Canada and part of it is United States. This is the investigator from Novo Mesto here, the animal who met me in 2022. He had a blast about this stuff here. So, you know, the stuff that you allow to these animals here in Slovenia, it makes me understand exactly how much I was wanted and everything. I understand. The words, his words to me that I'm a cancer, the type of treatment I got basically through the ambulance stalking and so on. It makes me understand exactly what I am to you. I get it. I totally understand. I totally understand. This still pertains. This issue is like a feedback. This is like his feedback on the video which I created pertaining to how they try to make me a sovereign citizen. I understand. I totally get it. Yeah. What the fuck am I gonna do as a sovereign citizen anywhere in the health I am? You destroyed me, you killed me. And what am I gonna do as a sovereign citizen? Without medical assistance, without hospitals and so on. Yeah. And the stuff that I talked to you about is exactly what they talked to me about. They said to me, and this is gonna be, it's very important. If it's going to be any place, it's going to be on the eastern part of the United States of America, of the USA, because that's going to give you the access to the health system in New York area, and the Grand Manan would be the best for you. Now, I would give you a picture of my future, probably next location where I will be at, but I don't even want to be there. I don't even want to be buried here in this place here next to home for elderly people. But basically this is what you created with this. This is the payment. Look. See the payment? The payment for me that you have done for me, what you did, what you accomplished for me is right here. Look. See this? This is your payment. You see this here? You work really, really hard. You see that angel right there on top of that throne right there? That's what you created with your assistants here, whom you hired, whom you signed the contract with. This is what you did for me. This is your payment for me. But you did not go unnoticed. It's a mark of the beast, but it's not unnoticed. I did it anyways. For whoever wanted to take the note how you do this stuff, he could take the note of it. Nobody's gonna say I went without any trace or anything like that. There is few things that are certain in this life that even the wealthy people cannot escape. One of them is death. That is a sort of justice that is equal for everybody. The day is gonna come when you scum also is gonna have to rotten away. You will. You might. And you definitely are not in a situation like the one you created for me. You're definitely not. You had a life of roses. That's true. You're 77. But you did not go unnoticed. You did go in a light as I depicted you. You fucking murderous animal. Another problem I possibly have is the problem which Myra Figura described as the problem in my left leg. Because he noticed on my legs also that my leg was just so smooth. LED. That's why he claimed that he noticed that I have this kind of problem, that I'm gonna have to go and solve that.
I have no idea why it's like this.
If this is you, I have bad news. You need to listen to this. It's very likely you have an obstruction of blood flow going into your leg, maybe even.
It doesn't matter. The stuff these animals have done to me, left me with, is laughable. It's a laughable. It's a laughable stuff. It's a laughable stuff because it's. If I heard of such a thing that they have done to somebody and this is the way it is, this is fucking laughable. It's impossible actually to even comment stuff like this. It's impossible to comment. To leave the person in this kind of circumstances to fulfill some kind of MK Ultra legacy, it's actually laughable. You cannot fucking comment. It's laughable. Yet these were the commenters, these are the people that interacted with me about my health problems. They basically played a physicians while guaranteeing me a horrific death. It's laughable for me, it's laughable to even talk about this stuff. Truly laughable. I'm not going to say they greatly exaggerate it, but these are murderers, these are killers I have spoken about. Butchers, you know what the butcher is? Like you go to the butcher and you say, hey, you go to the store and you say, here, cut me a piece of meat, whatever I want, like this and like that. I never did this in my lifetime, but I watched my mom doing that kind of stuff. And others. I didn't have the opportunity to be like my mama, like my papi, like other people. I was always treated like a child, always scolded, and in the end rated as mentally retarded. This was my life.